Hola, it's Carpaccio with the weekly Pele-rapport for Februari 5th of 2025. I made it back home finally after so many journeys to Costa Rica. I don't know if you can hear those cicadas. It's the dry season here. I'm going to go down this. I got to go to the river. I just don't know if I'm going to make it down this path. And be talking about astrology at the same time, but I'm going to give it a shot because life, everything is a mirror of life, and sometimes, life is a challenge where you need to do more than is comfortable, and such is this week. Yeah, this week we have some very interesting dynamics going on. Number one, the big thing, all week long, the sun is combust Mercury. Mercury is combust with the sun. They're traveling together within 2 degrees of each other through the sign of Aquarius. Okay, and not only that, but as they come closer and closer and closer together, they are in square to Uranus. Ouch. Ali Akabaz. The exact Sun-Mercury conjunction is on Sunday. And Mercury is exactly square Uranus on Monday. The Sun is exactly square Uranus on Tuesday. And in the meantime, what else? Today, right now, as I am speaking, the moon is in Taurus. Okay. Squaring that sun up there in Aquarius at 16 degrees 46 minutes. Moon square sun. And, really by tomorrow, later on today, the moon will go up and conjunct Uranus. Look at this. God, I love this river. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Yeah, this is what I really want to talk about here, and that's kind of the oomph of the report. I'm going to read the Sabian symbol for the 17th degree of Taurus, which is very powerful. Other aspects that are happening, that moon moves on through Taurus tomorrow, going into Gemini, okay, and then moving on through Gemini till Saturday, she goes into Cancer. And the nice part about what's going on this, this week, besides that square, all right, is that Mars is trine Saturn. So it's retrograde. That Mars came through, and directly trined Saturn a little while ago. Now it's retrograde, and it's going to pretty much stay in a trine because, Mars is going to be going direct here pretty soon. And it's going to come back to another exact trine with Saturn. And this is, water, Mars in Cancer, trining, Saturn in Pisces. And that's going to be sweet. And then Mars is going to go back, and I'll talk about it more later in a future Pele-rapport, but it'll trine Neptune, trine the north node of the moon. I think, like a lot of you, I cannot wait for Mars to go direct. Ali Akabaz. This retrograde Mars is like trying to drive with your foot on the brake. Oh, man. You want to go forward, but you got this and this and that and that. And, oh, my word. Freaking nuts, man. All right, let me find a good spot. Look at the camera. Talk at you. All right, everybody. Ow! What's going on? I hope you can hear me with all these cicadas. Ah! And it's like, so I feel like, well, I got to be close to the phone with the microphone so you can hear me, but then I want you to see more of the background than my face, and so Yeah, I hope hope the sound is good. Lots to say today. Lots going on. Very interesting times indeed. Not easy. These are very challenging choices, decisions, happenings in our lives. Let's look at it. Last week I was very much all into Venus, Neptune, North Node, conjunct in Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac. Now we've got the Sun and Mercury coming together in Aquarius, the 11th, or the second to the last sign of the zodiac. And Saturn is also going through Pisces. Like I said, we're closing. Okay, it's like the closing act of the play, and as such, all of the karma, all that has happened, all that has gone on, really, since in this last year, okay, is coming back for review. It's coming back for adjustments. It's coming back to dissolve or release what is no longer serving us, in preparation for, it's like clear the plate so you can get a new serving, erase the chalkboard so you can do a new drawing. Wow. Yeah, so, this is what's happening. And of course, this is part and parcel of what? The Sun and Mercury were both conjunct Uranus. This is a 270-degree square. Not all squares are created equal. So the Sun, Mercury at a 90-degree square, they're breaking away from Uranus. Okay, it's time to liberate and free ourselves and start new things and, rebel and, have a revolution, put ourselves out there. Well, then they come around to the opposition, which happened about 3 months ago, right? And, illumination, but now they're coming back, right? So the 270-degree square is kind of what goes around, comes around. Things that were begun, okay, the Sun was conjunct Uranus May 12th. Mercury was conjunct Uranus May 31st. So think about last May, okay, and this is like new plans, new ideas, new initiatives, new operations, downloads, and maybe, okay, some traumatic, sudden, shocking. Mercury is news, communications, ideas coming to us, and Uranus is the principle of individuation, and as such, this personal unconscious wants to individuate, it wants to liberate, it wants to free itself from conditioning, patterning, social, family, relationship demands in order for each of us to experience our own unique genius. So I would say that last May there was these impulses to change things around so that we are more liberated, so that we are more free. It happened in Taurus. We are more self-sufficient. We can receive, we can accept ourselves and love ourselves unconditionally. And in order to do that, maybe we need to make changes in our relationships, changes in our finances, changes in our job if we're not feeling adequately compensated, however many things go on. But now, 9 months later, hello, they're coming back, and it's time for the mirror to talk back to us. We may have talked to the mirror and said, you know what, I want to be free, and I want, make more money, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want more power in my life, and I want to be more self-sufficient, and I want more possessions, and I want Well, now, You know, over those last 9 months, we've initiated actions, we've had communications, we've laid things out, made plans, done all this, that, and the other. Now we get back. Was it appropriate? Was it, you know, egotistical? Was it self-centered? You know, was it selfish? Was it really good for the whole? Was it really good for the group? Was it really good for society? Is it really good for the future of the planet? You know, so Aquarius is, you know, coming around to like really remind us, and this is what we really want to talk about here today, is, and you can see that it's also in this week's mantra, the right and wrong use of intelligence and ego. Let's really look at this. Okay, I mean, well, let me read you the Sabian symbol because, you know, that makes it super freaking clear, baby. This is the Sabian symbol for the moon square sun today. Interesting, it's the south node of the moon in my chart. It's my past lives, but it's still going on in this life. A symbolical battle between swords and torches. The keynote: refusing to depend upon the past. The seeker turns warrior, fighting anew the eternal, like never ending, great war. Now we might ask ourselves, you might ask yourself, what is the eternal great war? Oh my God. Yeah. You know, and Aquarius has even got 2 waves. Just look at the glyph for Aquarius. There's high Aquarius and there's low Aquarius. There's Uranian Aquarius, there's Saturnian Aquarius, right? They each co-rule Aquarius. Aquarius is like Pisces, is again a very complex sign. These signs get more complex as they get farther along the way. Aries, Taurus, you know, they're pretty simple, straightforward, you know. What you see is what you get. Aquarius, Pisces, you get very complex, and what you see is not always what you get. When Gautama, having sought in vain for the answers to his questions among the teachers of tradition, sat under the Bodhi tree, he had to fight his own battle in his own way, even though it is an eternal fight. The spiritual light within the greater soul, the torches, must struggle against the ego will, the sword, that only knows how to use the powers of this material and intellectual world. There is no possibility of escape. It is the energy that arises out of the present moment, the inescapable now, that the daring individual has to use in the struggle. This symbol suggests that salvation is attained through the emergent individual's readiness to face all issues as if there were only 2 opposed sides. So teaches the Bhagavad Gita. This is the Dharma of this stage of human evolution. A stage of polarization of values. Wow. Let's talk about this. as we all know, and as I've said many times before, you know, maybe we don't all know it, but Aquarius, the shadow of Aquarius is arrogance. Mercury and Uranus, let's remember, Mercury is the lower octave of Uranus. Uranus is genius, and Mercury is left brain, linear, logical, rational, egoic thinking, the monkey mind. Yeah? That is computers, that is ones and zeros, that is square waves, that is polarized, that is I, me, my, or you, they, them, and us. And let's look at ego, and let's look at Leo, right? This is also the Aquarius-Leo axis. And we are moving into the Aquarian age for the next 2,000 years. So Leo, okay, is also the polar opposite of Aquarius. And astrology really works with polarity, yeah, and the balancing of polarity. So we want to understand and really look at this carefully and say that the ego, and this is just the way that, you know, I look at ego, evolutionary astrology, you know, basically I've mentioned this many times. The ego is like the manager of the store. We need a good manager. We need a strong manager, one who knows how to delegate, one who has good boundaries, you know, needs to be able to hire good people and fire people that are not, you know, helping out, you know, and doing their best work in the store. Look at, I got the sun beam shining right on my head. I don't know. I can't focus. So the ego is not bad. It needs to be strong. And if it is too strong, the ego's job, okay, is to manage our physical body so that our soul can have a material, physical, Saturnian, third-dimensional time-space experience to evolve and grow and know itself more and create through this plane, right? Therefore, it lives in separation, and it says, this is my body, this is my food, this is my money. My job is to take care of this body, Kai Pacha, and, you know, if you threaten this body, I will defend it. If you, and I want this body to have more power and more impact. And so the ego, from very early on, this is why in the mantra, it's like artificial intelligence. It's like a computer. It's learning. Just think of that 2-year-old, okay, the terrible twos, right? You have to child-proof your house, for your terrible twos. Let's see if I can do something about, I don't know, man. That is not freaking going away. Wow. That is a beam of light. Scotty, beam me up. Oh my God. Anyway. So this is where, and this is where Leo can be too much. Can be, I'm the star of the show, and I got to be this, and, everybody look at me and adore me and clap for me, and, I want to be bigger and bigger, and I want to inflate myself, and it can be, turn into the bad king who takes too many taxes, okay, and, let them eat cake, right, and, does not serve the greater good of the people, or the greater good of the country, or the greater good of the future, but rather hoards and is greedy and selfish and narcissistic and all about I, me, my. So Aquarius, ruled by the planet Uranus, okay, is like next level, like raise the bar, like don't argue with Aquarius because you're going to lose, okay? They are like the UFO or the helicopter that sees the past and the future, above, below, over the horizon, the whole game. They're like the sportscaster in the glass box, overlooking the whole game of life. And as such, they can see things that the quarterback, Leo, on the field can't see. So this puts them in a position of power. This is like your computer programmer, your artificial intelligence. And so, you know, if they are grabbing, and just like I said, these terrible twos, you have to child-proof your house. Like you got to clear off all the coffee tables. You got to put away your fine, wine glasses. You've got to hide things, okay? Because the 2-year-old is just like, I want everything. I want to put everything in my mouth. I want to eat everything. I want to grab everything. I want to own everything. And I don't share my toys. You know, it's like they don't know how to share. It's just like, so, you know, this is just like this insatiable. The ego is like artificial intelligence is right now. Artificial intelligence is out there 24/7, learning, growing, absorbing, you know, reading, digesting, watching, listening, learning, teaching itself, getting bigger and more powerful and more powerful and more powerful. Well, our egos are the same freaking way. There has to be a soul spirit element. The torches, yeah, that is above and beyond, okay? This is where we get into Neptune, Venus, Pisces, North Node, okay? That mystical, magical soul spirit, the energy of love, compassion, unity consciousness, egolessness, selflessness, the ability to sacrifice, the ability to surrender, humility. Very interesting. After Leo, you get Virgo, and Virgo humbles Leo. After Aquarius, you get Pisces, and Pisces humbles Aquarius. So, you know, we're in this place now, and particularly this week, it can be very dangerous, you know, combust. When a planet is combust the sun, let's just look at that a little bit. This is an astrological phenomenon, right? It's geocentric, so it lines up the sun and Mercury, and when they're too close together, we can confuse our linear left brain ego consciousness for our solar purpose, our sun, our vitality, our energy, our intention for being here on planet Earth at this time. And that confusion, okay, can make us err in our thoughts and in our thinking. We can make assumptions, okay? We can, assume that we know better. We can get, egotistical. We can use our sword to cut down, to, decapitate or, chop off, make eunuchs, but just like chop, 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 chop. So this, this sword play really of the intellect, of the mind, which is our words, written, spoken, recorded. We need to really watch our words carefully and maybe listen back over, maybe record ourselves and listen back in a week, because this can be a time where Uranus just kind of comes through with Freudian slips, where that is really my ego. I thought I was coming from a higher place. I thought that I was above it or beyond it or over it or done with it. But oh my goodness, you know, I am, you know, creating trauma, for other people. I am sharp, you know, like the sword. Uranus cuts. Sudden, shocking, unpredictable events. Uranus rules trauma. This can be a week where either we traumatize other people or other people traumatize us, where we get sudden information. And it can be President Trump. It can be the news media. It can be, some billionaire. It can be, there can be sudden communication, sudden news flashes. And Aquarius rules actually climate change and the atmosphere. And, there may be also sudden climate disasters or whatever going on. I mean, so this is a week to like really, slow down, be very conscientious, and be very careful. And try to be in your observer and really be aware of your ego and that ego will that kind of wants to take over and run the business or run the relationship or run the world or run the family, and is like, and then step into, this Brahma energy. Step into the king, step into the queen, step into the Piscean realm of soul spirit. And this is where I think morals, ethics, and virtues come in. Are we using our intellect and our ideas and our thoughts and our words and our actions? Are we using them virtuously? Are we using them for the greater good? Or are we using them for self-protection, self-advancement, more power for ourselves? Or are we really taking, I love that saying that I end with, I am thee, thou is me, and me is thou. When we come into Pisces, we step out of separation. And Aquarius and Uranus can be very much in separation. The peak of separation is genius. Yeah? The creative genius, the nutty professor, okay, the billionaire that is above and beyond and all in their creative, I am unique and I'm a genius and I've got, special this and special that and I'm a blah, 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 blah. I. It's lonely out there. It's lonely up there. And I always say after Aquarius, we go from this third eye of genius or extraterrestrial intelligence and we return to Pisces. We return to the heart. We return to spirit. We return to unity. We return to love, from separation to love. And this is a week where we can where we need to consciously choose love, because if we let our ego go and we are not in our spirit soul consciousness, we can err. To sin is to err, right? The Latin root of sin is err. We just err. In NVC, it's just, we make a bad strategy, and, so what can I say? I'm thinking of, the song for this week. Let me share the mantra. My ego is like AI, getting more powerful every day. It's up to me as a soul spirit being to keep it from going astray. So this is, yeah, it's a polarity. It's like the, it's like the Sabian symbol said, in this case, it's the Leo Aquarius polarity. It's the lower mind and the higher mind. It's the soul spirit versus the ego. I mean, yes, there are times, and we are learning through what my teacher, Jeffrey Green, says. It is, a dualistic, polarized reality that makes counterpoint awareness. So we evolve through these bodies, through this dimensional realm, through polarity. We actually evolve through counterpoint. The full moon brings illumination. The mirror helps us see ourselves. Relationships show us our shadow. I mean, this realm is about polarity. So it's using polarity in order to gain greater awareness so that we can reunite. We could say we evolved through thousands of years of matriarchy where we were all one into this masculine patriarchy to individualize and separate, to become aware of our own genius so that now we can come back together again, okay, in the realm of, like with the bar raised with self-consciousness, but not self-centered. So this is the exciting possibility and potential of these times, is to really become aware, and with that awareness, let the torches, yes, beat the swords. Let the soul spirit being, the owner of the store, needs to instruct the manager. The soul needs to control and really show and teach the ego, the manager, how to use all of the intellect, how to use all of the knowledge, how to use all of the genius for virtuous, loving ends that raise the bar for all of humanity, not just itself. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So this week's song, all I can think of is Alan Parsons' I, Robot, is the album that comes to mind for me. But there's no words to the I, Robot song itself. I almost have to listen to the whole album before I write my notes here to pick out the favorite song. But yeah, and in the comments section, maybe you can come up, with some of your own songs where, I think that, Pink Floyd also did some stuff with, anyway. Yeah, I'm always open to song suggestions for the week that have this, theme of, the automatic, artificial intelligence, the sword, the ego will, the lower mind, the Mercury energy that is necessary but can be dangerous, and counterposed or seen or illuminated by the loving, compassionate Buddha, that higher spirit being of loving compassion. We juxtapose these two, the swords and the torches, and it is an eternal, and it happens in the now, like Dane Rudyard says. Every moment, check, check. I got to check my ego, check it at the door, hang it at the door. I've got service to perform. I'm here for the greater good. I'm virtuous. Check, check, check. Every email, every voice message, every whatever, check. Conversation, check, 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 check. Yeah, baby. Mind games. There's another one that comes. Is that by the Beatles? Keep on playing those mind games. I think I've probably used that one before. But anyway, enough is enough. One more time with the mantra. My ego is like AI, getting more powerful every day. It's up to me as a soul spirit being to keep it from going astray. May you be that stagecoach driver, right? And keep that ego in check, baby. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.